Hello, cookbook friends, and welcome to the Cookbook Divas podcast, where we help you find your next favorite cookbook, new or vintage. My name is Katie, and with me is my co-host Carrie, and we are cookbook addicts. Thank you for joining us today.
We are shameless cookbook addicts, and I need to buy a bookcase because I have a blank wall in my home.
Oh, yes.
So today we'll be going over our weekly roundup for brand new cookbook releases for the last week of July 2021. This is going to include baking and dessert cookbooks, international, health, a bunch of miscellaneous cookbooks, including beverage cookbooks.
Yay.
I'm going to get started by talking about our only beverage cookbook, but really it's a cookbook to introduce you to wine. It is Wine Style, Discover the Wines You Will Love through 50 Simple Recipes by Kate Leahy, or Leahy. I don't know how to say it. How do you say it?
Leahy?
Leahy, thank you.
You're welcome.
I did have 2 glasses of wine at lunch, so hang on there. Well, the waitress looked like she was begging because her tip will be bigger if I buy a second glass, right? So
yes.
Therefore...
And now you'll know what food goes well with your wine.
Well, I had a salad, so I went for a white wine. Yes.
Yeah.
So the book Wine Style says, discover the wines you will love through 40 simple recipes. It's a modern, casual guide to finding which wines you love and what foods to pair them with. There are no rules here, especially none of the old-fashioned ones like seafood should always be paired with white wine, la la la. Mm-hmm. Instead, this book is all about helping you explore new terrain in approachable ways. I love that because as a wine blogger, we've always tried to just be real people and not like experty, lectury. If you were cool, you'd be drinking like us, blah, blah, blah. That's no fun.
No, not at all.
The world has enough wine snobs, really.
Seriously. Yes, absolutely.
So the book helps you whether you're looking to find an affordable new mainstay bottle for weeknight dinners or incorporate dessert wines into your routine, which is difficult for me because I am kind of a wine snob and sweet wines make me go, ew, but they have their place.
Yeah.
And the book will help you learn how orange wine is made. It's kind of a trend right now.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, and they want you to explore different grapes. For example, we all drink Cabernet Sauvignon and Sauvignon Blanc, but do you drink Viognier or Roussanne or Marsanne, etc.?
Mm-hmm.
If you make complementary snacks and dishes to go with them, you'll learn more about which grapes that you like. And it's up to you what you like, and like what you like. Oh my gosh.
I like that. That's awesome.
So some of the combinations in here include baked lemony feta with crisp white wine.
Oh, God.
A cabbage and onion galette with a bold red. Harissa deviled eggs with sparkling wine. Oh my God, I'm hungry now. And we just got back from lunch.
So that's salad.
That is Wine Style. Discover the wines you will love through 50 simple recipes. It comes out July 27 and is by Kate Leahy, who I'm having trouble pronouncing her name.
Next up, we're going to start talking about baking and dessert cookbooks, which is super exciting. It's one of my favorites.
Yes.
My first cookbook that I'm really excited to talk about this one. It's called Buttercream Petals. Vibrant flowers for stunning cakes using piping and palette knife painting.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this comes out July 20th. It's by Neetha Syam. And I have been learning a little. I've been watching Sugar Rush on Netflix. So watching them doing all this amazing pipe work is just phenomenal. And the palette knife, which as an artist, I use palette knives too, but I didn't really think to translate it to cakes.
Oh, so I can't wait to see what you come up with.
It's really cool. I can't wait either. So the things you'll find in the table of contents, you get an introduction and you get a whole list of essential equipment. So that, of course, you're going to need all kinds of different piping tips and stuff like that. Another chapter you will find are the cake recipes. Then they have a separate chapter for buttercream recipes. They have cake techniques, buttercream colors, which again, as I've been watching these baking shows, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really like having blue teeth. So what's a better way of having, colored buttercream? So I really like that they've done that. They teach you how to prepare your bags, how to use the palette knife. different kinds of buttercream flowers. So you can do roses, you can do little daisies, just like all kinds of cool stuff. And then they have a whole cakes section. It's a very useful cookbook. It's full of different photos, so you can learn everything step by step, how to pipe everything or how to use your palette knife. Everything's really vibrant and fun, and it just makes you I'm really excited to go try this out. I really want to just bake a cake for no reason and pipe on it.
Would you please take pictures when you do and upload them to our Instagram at Cookbook Divas?
I will. Actually, it's the perfect day to. It's not too hot, so maybe I should cook a cake this weekend. Ooh. So they have collections of cakes. So one thing I'm seeing here on one of the photos is like a autumn cupcake collection, which it has like sunflowers of different varieties, because there are different varieties of sunflowers, and then like little wreaths for other ones. It looks like another kind of like a marigold or something for another cupcake set. It's a really cute cookbook, super fun. If you love baking cakes and you love decorating, this is something you might want to check out. It's called Buttercream Petals, Vibrant Flowers for Stunning Cakes Using Piping and Palette Knife Painting by Neetha Syam.
So my next book is a baking book, and it's probably the most anticipated baking book of the year.
Yes.
It's Nadiya Bakes, over 100 must-try recipes for breads, cakes, biscuits, pies, and more, a baking book by Nadiya Hussain.
Yay.
She's the host of the beloved Netflix series Time to Eat and Nadiya Bakes, and she's the winner of the Great British Baking Show. And here she returns to her true love baking with more than 100 Americanized recipes for sweet treats. Oh, that probably means she added extra sugar for us Americans.
Thank you, Nadiya.
Oh, she shares 100 simple and achievable recipes, which is what I need, for cakes, cookies, breads, tarts, and puddings. We're not really into pudding here in America. Did you mean Jell-O? Because we're up for that.
I love pudding. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I think her puddings are a little different than what we're thinking. But yeah, okay.
Probably, yes. Yes.
So we didn't get an advanced copy because we're tiny little bloggers and podcasters. But on the off chance there's any big six publishers listening, we'd love to have some advanced copies of your cookbooks, please. Anyway, there's a little About Us section on cookbookdivas.com where you can find our shipping info. Anyway. This book includes recipes for raspberry amaretti biscuits, key lime cupcakes, Cheats sourdough, and something that I would never eat because I hate squash, spiced squash strudel. But those of you that like squash would have a delicious recipe. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's anticipating this book. You know you're going to buy it anyway. It's Nadiya Bakes, over 100 must-try recipes for breads, cakes, biscuits, pies, and more by Nadiya Hussain.
Awesome. I'm so excited. I love her so much. My next cookbook is from our favorite Cider Mill Press. It is their desserts ultimate cookbook. It actually got pushed out, so it's pushed out to August 24th. But it kind of makes sense because we're going to start seeing more and more dessert and baking cookbooks as we start approaching fall again and the holidays. So, okay, that's fine. Sure. So, again, Cider Mill Press is very good about giving us big, bold, full picture photos of almost every single recipe in their cookbook. Everything is very, very approachable. All the recipes are they're just so easy and very simple, and most of the ingredients are just readily available for, I would say, all of us. So some recipes that they've included, we've got classics like chocolate chip cookies. There's a blueberry pie in here. They even have provided a creme brulee recipe. And I don't know if they are using a blowtorch. I would imagine you would have to, and it does require the ramekins and stuff, but I really like this. It's a really cool cookbook. They have a red velvet cake with pralines. I have not had that before, and that's a bit unique for me. I haven't seen that yet. It looks really great. It's just a very simple, straightforward dessert cookbook. That is their desserts ultimate cookbook. It's by Cider Mill Press. It now comes out August 24th.
So next up, we don't usually cover any diet cookbooks because we don't want to be part of diet culture.
Yeah.
But Katie and I are eating plant-based. She played with veganism earlier. I'm a lifelong vegetarian. So she has one plant-based Mediterranean diet cookbook to bring to you.
Yeah, so it's called the Plant-Based Mediterranean Diet Cookbook. Cool. It's 75 recipes for lasting weight loss and lifelong health. It comes out July 27th. It's by Jennifer Jodouin. And I'm not seeing any recipes available so far for this in detail, but I do know that all of these are all plant-based. You learn how to enjoy things like beans and whole grains. So, as we all know, it's Mediterranean diets are well known for being good for cardiovascular health. You know, they try to use as little ingredients to have as great flavor as humanly possible. That's what they promise, at least in this cookbook. So if you're interested in that, that's the Plant-Based Mediterranean Diet Cookbook, 75 Recipes for Lasting Weight Loss and Lifelong Health by Jennifer Jodouin.
Next up, part of the Mediterranean is Greece. Yay. And we have a new Greek cookbook. I'm so excited. It's called Flavours of Greece, spelled the UK way with an extra O.
Ooh.
For you. Anyway, it's by Rosemary, Barron. It comes out July 7th. Now, I have to point out that her Flavours of Greece was first published in 1991. It's never gone out of print. But now here's a new, freshened up, edition. Fair enough. Add some new things. There's 250 regional and national specialties. They include olives, feta, and seafood, of course. Mezes, delicate lemon broths, which I've never had lemon broth, and now I'm craving it.
Yeah.
Hearty bean soups, and as a lifelong vegetarian, I guarantee you all fall and winter long, I'm cooking bean soup multiple times a week. Grilled meats and fish, baked vegetables, and pilafs, and including what Greece is known for, fragrant, gooey honey pastries.
Oh, yummy.
The selling point for this cookbook is that Greek cooking offers seasonal food that's perfect for informal eating with family, friends, and entertaining. And after the pandemic, can you imagine how much family and friends I'm going to be entertaining all summer, fall, and winter long? Because I can safely. Woohoo!
Yeah, absolutely.
That is Flavours of Greece by Rosemary Barron.
My next cookbook is The Ninth Wave, Love and Food on the Isle of Mull. It comes out July 21st. It's by Carla Lamont. And I'm going to read what the publisher has to say. So Carla and John Lamont have bought fine dining to one of the most beautiful islands in the Hebrides? Hebrides?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody
I'll have to look
that
up. Yeah. Their cooking is based on seasonality, using the wonderful natural larder of fruit, vegetables, game, and seafood at the times of year when they are available and at their best. Lobster, crab, hand-dyed scallops, and fish are often caught only hours before appearing on the dinner plate. Wouldn't you love to live in Scotland, I guess, for that? I would. Wow, that's amazing.
Well, my last name is Campbell, so...
Right. So Carla's husband, John, is a fisherman and will not only catch the crab and lobster on their own, but acts as a waiter and wine steward in their restaurant. So this is a cookbook, but this is a cookbook based on their restaurant, Carla and John Lamont's restaurant in Scotland. Some of the reviews that I've seen is that they're complicated recipes for sure, but they are worth the try. So probably a weekender kind of recipe cookbook. I'm not seeing a list of recipes, but if you've been to Scotland, a lot of reviewers have said, or if you have even an affinity to Scotland, this is a great cookbook to explore like landscapes and recipes simultaneously. The photos that I'm able to see are really beautiful. There's full displays of picture of a lighthouse on the ocean, and with the sunset, you've got a picture of lobster with scallops and peas and just kind of classic Scottish fare, or I guess fine dining Scottish fare. You're not seeing any haggis in here. At least I'm not seeing any so far. So if you're interested in that or have a huge love for Scotland or anywhere in the UK, it's called The Ninth Wave, Love and Food on the Isle of Mull by Carla Lamont.
I need to study up on my geography because I've never heard of the island of Mull.
Me either. Yeah.
Well, my next cookbook takes place all the other way across the world. It is the best of Mexican cooking. 75 Authentic Homestyle Recipes for Beginners. It comes out July 27. It's by Adriana Martin. And I grew up near the Tijuana border, and I ate a lot of Mexican food, but as a vegetarian. And I can eat Mexican food every single day, so I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited to peek into this. The selling tagline is Capture the Flavors of Mexico with Home-Style Recipes. And I admit that when we go to Mexican food restaurants here in Seattle, they're very Americanized.
Yes, they are.
I like what I eat, but when I was growing up near Mexico, there's no sauce drenched over your burrito.
No, and
No.
the surplus of cheese. I mean, I
Yeah.
love cheese, but yeah, it's not
Yeah.
normal.
There's no sour cream and guacamole on top of her. No. So, inside this Mexican cookbook, you'll find an intro to Mexican cooking. We'll learn about 7 different culinary regions in Mexico, fundamental Mexican cooking techniques, and essential ingredients and equipment to have on hand. I have essential equipment on hand because I can make tortillas at home with my tortilla press.
Oh, I want that.
They include simple, authentic recipes, clear, detailed instructions, recipe tips and tricks, expert pointers, etc. I'm going to take a quick run through the preview pictures from Amazon. Ooh, contents. Chapter 1, The World of Mexican Cooking. Chapter 2, Staples. Breakfast, snacks and appetizers, soups and stews, main courses, sides and salads, desserts and drinks. Some of the staples, for example, are tortillas made out of corn, tortillas made out of flour, salsa de pico de gallo, salsa verde. Ooh, yum. Now I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Yum. There's a picture of the main courses, including camarones enchilados. Ooh, arroz a la templada. Wow, lots of stuff. I don't have time for this, but there's so much in here. That is the best of Mexican cooking, 75 authentic homestyle recipes for beginners by Adriana Martin.
Next up, we have Mediterranean Cookbook. It came out July 7th, I guess, and it's by Arabella Boxer. It looks like this is a re-release, and I'm not able to find the date of the original copy. This particular cookbook I'm not able to find a lot of pictures for, but let's see what I can dredge up a little bit. Some of the reviews have said that this is a very, very well organized book. People have been cooking out of this book for many, many years, and it's great for all kinds of Mediterranean food, just actual true Mediterranean food. Some recipes that I've seen reviewed from other countries, I guess, about this cookbook, they've provided recipes for couscous, falafel, the French salad, the salad niçoise. Is that how you say it? Niçoise
Yes.
salad. Ooh,
Niçoise.
I got it. Ooh, excellent. There's tabbouleh recipes in here. Anyway, this is a really cool cookbook if you want to check it out. This was out of print originally for a really long time, and now it's coming back, and that's the Mediterranean Cookbook. It's by Arabella Boxer.
My next cookbook is Putting the Tea in Britain, The Scots Who Made Our National Drink. It comes out July 21. It's by Les Wilson. And I'm Scottish, but I've only been to the country one time. They are going to run through the history from the Indian Mutiny to the London Blitz. Offering a nice cup of tea has been a stock British response to a crisis. Oh, that is so true. But tea itself has a dramatic and often violent history. That history is inextricably interwoven with the story of Scotland. Scots were overwhelmingly responsible for the introduction and development of the UK's national drink, and were the foremost pioneers in the development of tea as an international commodity. I find that really interesting because you can't grow tea in Scotland and Britain.
I had no idea. Like, this is really mind-blowing to me that they're, like, the ones that did it.
It's from China. I didn't know that there were Scottish seafarers to go get it back. I've got to read this. Wow.
Definitely. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Wow. Oh, and I was wrong because apparently the author will tell us about the recent development of tea plantations in the Scottish hills. What?
Whoa. Okay, there we go.
I guess tea doesn't need sunshine to grow. Okay, that is Putting the Tea in Britain, The Scots Who Made Our National Drink by Les Wilson.
And I have one food history cookbook as well. It's called True to the Land, A History of Food in Australia. It's by Paul Van Ryck. And I'm going to read what the publisher has to say because I don't think I can do it justice. Spanning 65,000 years, this book provides a history of food in Australia from its beginnings, with the arrival of the first peoples and their stewardship of the land, to a present where the production and consumption of food is fraught with anxieties and competing priorities. It describes how food production in Australia is subject to the constraints of climate, water, and soil, leading to centuries of unsustainable agricultural practices post-colonization. Australian food history is also the story of its xenophobia and the immigration policies pursued, which continue to undermine the image of Australia as a model multicultural society. That's true. This history of Australian food ends on a positive note. However, as Indigenous peoples take increasing control of how their food is interpreted and marketed. Interesting. There are photos throughout this book to showcase, you've got maps and different photos of like how Australia has grown as a country, but it shows photos of the actual food that you would find in Australia that are very different. I don't think I'm going to be able to even pronounce this, but it looks like a specific berry. It's like bright red. It almost looks like a red blueberry to me.
Oh, wow.
And they make jams out of it. They have this almost looks like the most pastel purple plant grape I've ever seen. They actually call it small purple apple.
Oh.
Very interesting. So that's True to the Land, A History of Food in Australia by Paul Van Ryck.
My next cookbook I so need because I cook for my nephews often. It's called the Picky Eater Cookbook. Fun recipes to make with kids that they'll actually eat. It's by Centennial Books, comes out July 27. It is for and about picky eaters.
Yay.
Cooking is a hands-on activity that challenges kids' creativity and gives them a sense of accomplishment and something delicious to eat. This cookbook offers a wide variety of opportunities for youngsters to learn and grow. That's true, because if kids make food themselves, they tend to want to taste it a little bit more.
Absolutely. Definitely.
The publisher says that something as simple as pouring ingredients into a bowl and stirring them together enhances our hand-eye coordination. And reading recipes and packaging labels increases our language skills. Measuring flour, milk, and spices helps kids understand fractions, and they can put their addition and subtraction knowledge to use. And you cook together, you're spending quality time together and introducing them to good nutrition and healthy eating habits. I'm gonna wonder how much of the recipes in this cookbook are actually healthy, though.
Right.
Because picky eaters like to eat chicken nuggets and french fries and
yes,
a lot of white and beige foods, so we'll see. Okay, here's some of the recipes. Confetti waffles, not healthy.
No.
Vegetable,
sounds great, though.
Yeah. Vegetable dippers and bean dip, okay, good.
Oh.
Decorating a giant cheeseburger cake, no. Packing extra nutrition into favorite foods like mac and cheese and pizza, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I'm going to take a peek at the inside if I can. The contents include, okay, here we go. Let's get cooking, mornings, so good smoothies, meet the kids for MasterChef Junior, ice cream, you scream for fruit and yogurt, lunchbox makeovers, kid-approved lunches, kids sushi, smart snacks, hidden healthy, cool drinks, meat or sweet, that's the cheeseburger cake, which I don't even want to think about.
Weird. Interesting.
Family suppers. Turn mealtime into an opportunity for family fun with these delicious dinners you can make together. Tip-top tabletops. How to set the table. Passport dining. Travel the world with kid-friendly foods from around the globe. Bake sale. Helps support a good cause with these sweet treats. Play with your food. Make a tasty masterpiece with fun food art projects. And make it yourself birthday cake and holiday party fun. So I'm not seeing a lot of healthy recipes in here, but okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm desperate. I will buy it. That is the Picky Eater Cookbook, Fun Recipes to Make with Kids That They'll Actually Eat by Centennial Books.
My next book is called Buddha Bowls. It's by Tanya Doozy.
Ooh.
I love the cover. It's really cool. I don't know. I love Buddha Bowls. I think they're fun. I don't know. It's almost like the Subway version of a bowl. I don't know. Or poke bowls, all of the things, all your favorite things in a rice bowl. It's the best. Anyway, so this book talks about, I guess it's encouraging us to create colorful but healthy, awesome Buddha bowls where we're able to, enjoy the things we eat, but also it's incredibly nourishing. They do provide recipes in here, but they also give us suggestions on what kind of combinations you can use. But if you don't like something, you can replace it with something that you might like. So if you didn't like sweet potatoes, you might be able to switch that out with, let's just, another kind of squash of some kind, like zucchini.
Okay,
so you didn't.
I'll do zucchini, but not squash. Help!
See. So some examples of recipes you will find in here. They have a tropical coconut bowl. Oh, this looks good. It has like a mango compote, coconut rice. It's topped with papayas and mangoes and mint leaves. This is perfect for right now in the summertime. There's also a summer bowl, so it doesn't always have to be rice. That was my mistake.
Oh.
They have the base for this one is corn, actually, it looks like. Or you can even substitute. I like that they've created extra substitutes in here so that you don't need to commit to everything that's in these bowls. But you can even substitute with pasta if you really wanted to. There's a hot tuna bowl. So this is similar to like a poke bowl. Then a chana dal bowl. That's interesting. So we're covering all sorts of regions of flavors, which is extra cool. It's a really cool book, and for summertime, it's perfect. It's easy to whip up for, if it's a hot day. Usually Buddha bowls are cold, but again, this is easy to whip up for school. So it's just an all-around great cookbook to have around for easy, quick meals. That is Buddha Bowls by Tanya Doozy.
My next cookbook is a topic I really don't enjoy, but I'm going to share it for those of you that do. It's the Complete Quinoa Cookbook. Over 100 recipes, perfect for vegan and plant-based diets. I don't personally care for quinoa. I will eat it. I know why it's important and healthy, and I'll put it in my mouth, but I will never cook it. But I want to point out that I have an adorable friend that calls it quinoa.
Oh, that's cute.
But we mispronounce stuff on this cookbook podcast all the time, and you guys are really generous about not bitching about it, so I can't say anything. But for those of you who can stand the taste of quinoa, this book is by Catherine Gill. It comes out July 27. 100 recipes, all starring quinoa. From the kitchen of the Dirty Vegan herself, so I'm assuming she has a blog called The Dirty Vegan.
Ooh, fun.
Some of the recipes include quinoa pancakes, pan-fried quinoa cakes, tangy 3-bean and quinoa salad. Okay, I would eat that. Loaded quinoa nachos. No, I'm sorry, nachos have beans on them. Quinoa beet. Quinoa beet and feta flatbread. Why would you do that to your flatbread? Okay, quinoa baked ziti casserole I would do. Quinoa curry, yes. Quinoa pecan pie is a hard no.
Yeah.
Apple quinoa strudel. I guess that's adding protein to your strudel. Okay, fine. So for those of you that love quinoa, I highly recommend this. The Complete Quinoa Cookbook. Over 100 recipes, perfect for vegan and plant-based diets by Catherine Gill.
This one, I have almost the same feels for as you do about quinoa.
Okay.
It's called Beat This, an unofficial Schrute Farms cookbook by Tiani Niles and Sam Kaplan. And, okay, I think it's hilarious because The Office, I can't get past that. I cracked up when I saw everything. It's funny. It's illustrated.
Uh-oh.
So everything's done in these, it's beautifully illustrated. These gorgeous watercolor paintings that display the food, display Schrute culture.
But do they have a picture of Dwight Schrute?
I haven't seen Dwight yet.
Okay.
I have not seen him. So they even display some Amish culture in here, which is a little hilarious. The whole thing is great. So some things we have in here just before we get into recipes. Beet Farming 101. So we have like the first step is the strength of at least one grown adult human and one adolescent human. 2, nothing lower than a green belt in karate.
Oh, boy.
3, facility with weapons, often referred to as gardening tools. So if you love The Office, this is really hilarious. But in all seriousness, if you like beets, this is something that you might want to check out. My mom would hate this book. She hates beets, but I don't mind them too much. I don't know if I can do all of these. So some recipe examples that they've provided are, we've got a no-bake beet bar, and it is supposed to be a sweet bar, like almost like a protein bar, but with beets. That's not bad. It's probably pretty good. There's a beet and beef stew.
Yeah, that's probably pretty Russian. You know, Russians would love that.
It is. Yeah. It's pretty, that's pretty fine. There's a pork knuckle. You actually use it's like using pork knuckles, and then you slow cook them, and you can use them in sandwiches and stuff like that. And I wouldn't have a problem. I think that one would be okay. So, but other things that they have in here, we have a spicy fried rattlesnake with pickled beets.
What?
I don't even know how that's even...
Where did that come from suddenly out of the blue?
I know! There's a lot of interesting things in here. And it's funny if you like The Office. So that is called Beat This, an unofficial Schrute Farms cookbook by Tiani Niles and Sam Kaplan.
My final book is The Great Book of Grilled Cheese, 100 plus recipes for the ultimate comfort food, soups, salads, and sides. It's by Fox Chapel Publishing and Kim Wilcox. Comes out July 27. I'm not going to be making any grilled cheese in summertime, but I could hang on to this for fall and winter. Some of the recipes include Slim Shady Supreme Grilled Cheese, Creamy Tomato Basil Soup, Darcy's Dressed Up Gobbler Grilled Cheese. Okay. I'm trying to figure out why you need 100 recipes. Let's take a look at the chapters. Chapter 1, grilled cheese essentials, including cooking vessels, cooking utensils, the types of bread, butter, and cheese to use. Okay. Chapter 2, best of the best, bestsellers at their restaurant, the ones that keep them coming back. Chapter 3, gourmet grilled cheese. Then a whole chapter of vegetarian options. Thank you. Chapter 5, local regional flavors, grilled cheese sandwiches that incorporate locally sourced ingredients. And Chapter 6, all my chef friends, recipe mashups. Chapter 7, dessert recipes that are passed down, but is that grilled cheese recipe? I'm very confused. Don't know what's happening, but who doesn't love grilled cheese sandwich, including gluten-free and vegans, because you can have grilled almond cheese on gluten-free bread. Yay!
Oh, wow.
That is The Great Book of Grilled Cheese by Kim Wilcox.
That's cool. My last cookbook of today is One Dish Fish, Quick and Simple Recipes to Cook in the Oven. It's by Lola Milne. It got pushed out. It comes out August 17th, and this is really fascinating if you love, or if you want to learn how to cook with fish, or you love cooking with fish. One of the first pages that I kind of ran into was like meeting the fish, like what kind of fish there is. Mm-hmm. So you've got white fish, oily fish, which I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. And then shellfish, and how to prepare and cook each of these kinds of fish. And I haven't done a lot of fish cooking, and I really do want to learn how to do it more and better. I think that's mostly my problem, is that I steer away from it because I just don't know how to cook it, so I just stop. I just don't do it.
That's fair enough.
Sure. So, and it is a little tricky. It's very sensitive with like time and heat and whatnot. So this is a really cool cookbook for that. So the first chapter is navigating fish, and then your chapters are divided up into time. So your second chapter is ready in 20 minutes. Next is ready in 30 minutes, and then the following chapter is ready in 45 minutes. I think that's interesting and quite fun, and if you are a time person, this would be like really helpful. Fish is actually doesn't take that long to make now that I think about it. It would actually be a great weekday meal. It just is a little expensive. Let's see if I can find some really awesome recipes in here. We have a tuna, fennel, and bitter leaf recipe. There's a grilled mackerel with beetroot and mustard creme fraiche. We have slow roasted harissa salmon. You get what I'm saying. It's a really cool cookbook. If you love fish and you want to learn how to cook with it, it's called One Dish Fish, Quick and Simple Recipes to Cook in the Oven by Lola Milne.
That is our roundup of cookbooks coming out in the 4th week of July. Thanks so much for listening and joining us today. We'll be back next week with more upcoming cookbooks. There are so many coming out in September and October and November this year. It's going to be crazy. So you can find our podcasts on Tuesdays and Fridays. We're Cookbook Divas. We have a website. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We'd love to have you review us on Apple Podcasts. If you could take a moment, that would be great. We'd love to hear your feedback via Facebook and Instagram. Be sure to click like and comment so the algorithms will show you more of our posts if you enjoy them. Thanks so much and talk to you next week.